This week's Parsha, Parashat Vayetse, has the beautiful story of Jacob's dream, a dream in which he sees a ladder that its bases are on earth and goes all the way to heaven. And he becomes aware of the sacredness and significance of that ladder when he wakes up and realizes the place is a sacred place. And then his life begins to change, because now the escape from his brother Esau, going to Haran and going to the house of his uncle Lavan, takes in a different dimension. It's a search for his future. And you can see that this individual who was a supplanter, someone who went and deceived his father, is going to face life vicissitudes, and he himself is going to be tricked by Lavan in matters of love when he is giving Leah and Rachel, and Leah is giving to him first as a wife. And that deception that he suffers is not just recorded in the Torah, but the verb used there is the same verb used when he deceived his father and stole the birthright from Esau. So his life is being transformed, and the transformation is going to be extremely spiritual when he encounters and when he is going to encounter his brother later on. He's going to encounter this angelical being later on in the narrative, and that's going to transform his life. His name will be transformed from Jacob to Israel, and he will be then someone who has encountered the divine and transformed his personal life. In the meantime, he's going to go through the motions of finding his wife Rachel and all that it implies in terms of dealing with Lavan, but he doesn't lose sight of his future. In Jacob, the promise of Israel resides. If God promised Abraham to have a numerous descendants like the stars of the sky, that promise does not get fulfilled until Jacob. Jacob's the one that has 13 children, Dinah, and then the 12 brothers from which the 12 tribes of Israel will develop. So Jacob, like Abraham, will change his name, Avram to Abraham, Jacob to Israel. And that transformation is going to be the get-go for the development of the people of Israel. Let's not forget that Jacob later on will be going to Egypt, that Joseph will be in power, and then the people of Israel will come out of Egypt in the liberation of the Exodus. So you can trace all that back to Jacob and his decisions, who he's going to marry, where is he going to live, and what kind of education and life will give to his children. Along the way, we'll see also traits of human character. We will see jealousy, envy, favoritism. All these very human traits of personality continue to show up in the Torah. And we learn then that we're not here to learn about people that are perfect, but rather we're here to learn about people that have flaws, and we should see ourselves in those flaws and trying to improve. Certainly, the Torah doesn't make no excuses for human frailty and human problems. And I think that's a great way to look ourselves into the Torah and then trying to improve the way we are. Great Torah portion. We will see you on Shabbat and Friday night on Zoom. Would like to wish you as well a happy Thanksgiving. Everyone, please take care of yourselves as we are trying to keep this COVID-19 encapsulated so we can get the vaccine, and God willing, in the near future, and move on and conquer this difficult times of pandemic. I wish you a Thanksgiving again, a happy Thanksgiving, and a wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Bye-bye.